A truly incredible banner. 15x rate up on Praetus and Uredin. Truly incredible things require truly incredible episodes of Should You Summon? How the heck are you guys? I've got really first time things for you planned today. I first time things planned for you today. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm giddy. I've got some unique stuff I'm going to show you. I made a presentation, Should You Summon, for Praetus for Ingrid. I go through every situation I could think of, kind of a flow chart spelt out very slowly, just scenario by scenario, taking you through everything I could imagine and helping you make your decision based on your specific account. Should you go for Praetus or should you wait for Ingrid? And then let's not sleep on Uredin, the highest BP hero in the game. Tremendous potential on this guy for future content. But right now, he is a star in terms of having a lot of battle power. Battle power is a stupid joke in this game and does not matter at all, except for in two places. Tide, which matters not that much, because it's not that important in game mode. You'll all beat it eventually. But then very importantly, GVG. So here we are on the Fastidious test server. I've got prepared for you a little showcase walkthrough mini guide on how to gear your Uredin to the absolute gills. So he is pouring BP out of every orifice in his body. Disgusting way to describe that, but illustrative, certainly it was. Should you summon on this banner the best hero in the game, Mr. Praetus, along with Uredin, not too shabby himself, BP for miles and miles? Let's find out. Let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Let us please begin with my presentation. Should you, yes you, should you summon for Praetus or should you wait and then summon for Ingrid? Let's begin and go through 7 scenarios, starting with scenario number 1. You do not have either of them. You have no Praetus, you have no Ingrid. What should you do? Summon for Praetus. It is, and to me, it's that simple. I know Ingrid's got legs. I know she's got that crazy cinematic. I know for certain things, her DPS is utterly mind-blowing. The equation is simple. If you want my advice, that's why you're here, I presume. At least most of you. You don't have either. No Praetus, no Ingrid. Should you summon? Yes, summon for Praetus. Scenario number 2. You only have Ingrid. You already have an Ingrid, either A0 all the way through A5. Awesome, congrats. But you don't have Praetus. The most obvious of all the scenarios. Of course, summon for Praetus. You already have Ingrid. Simple as that. I don't care if she's A2 and you're that close to A3. You need your base copy of Pope Daddy. Go and get it. Scenario number 3. You only have Praetus. You have a Praetus, a base copy, or A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. I don't care if you don't have him. Now you need legs, mommy, on your team. Time to go grab an Ingrid. Do not summon for Praetus. Wait for Ingrid. Be a patient person. I'm talking to you, Earl. No trigger finger. Don't get too itchy. Wait. Now, a note. For scenarios 4 through 7, we have 4 remaining scenarios. I do suggest the vast majority of people do not summon for either of these guys. If you already have both of them, which is all of the scenarios we're going to talk about now, we've covered the initial things where you have neither or you have one and not the other. These next 4 scenarios, scenarios 4, 5, 6, and 7, in all of them, you do have both. And we're just getting into the minutia of how many awakenings on each. I'm thorough, guys. I'm going to be thorough. And so, if you already have both, I don't think you should summon on these banners unless you're like a big spender or you are incredibly competitive in player versus player content. So Guild Wars and Arena. Because otherwise, for the health of your account, you'd be much better off waiting for the next time a Valderon banner comes around or waiting for the introduction of the new Ancient exclusive Nightmare Lord. It could be next month. It could be in 6 months. We don't know, but we do know it is coming. And if you already have a copy of each, I think, again, unless you're a huge spender or you're very committed to player versus player content, I say you do not go for Awakenings. You're happy with whatever you currently have. You wait for Valderon or the new Nightmare Lord. On to the scenarios. Continuing. Scenario number 4. You have both, and they're both Awaken level 0. You have a base copy of each. Yes, you have an A0 Praetus. Yes, you have an A0 Ingrid. Would you believe it? We're about to fork off to 2 different things, 2 different conditions that will change the answer to this question. So are you endgame? Meaning, have you beaten the gear dungeons? Have you beaten 21 in all the gear raids? Are you focused just on like Guild Boss 2, maybe tidying up epilogue and looking ahead for content to come? You just care about PvP and basically what other hard stuff is coming your way? Are you endgame? That is my description of endgame. If the answer to all that stuff is no, and I mean actually endgame, not like, oh, I've beaten the 21s for gear raids. No, I mean properly endgame. If the answer is no, summon for Praetus. He will carry you harder and get you to the promised land, which is the endgame, and then you can be like the rest of us and just wallow and wait around for more content and for the opportunity to get Praetus and Ingrid on your account. Now, the second fork of this scenario, you have both, yes, A0 Praetus, yes, A0 Ingrid. Are you endgame? Yes. In this scenario, you are endgame. In that case, do not summon for Praetus, wait for Ingrid. If you have A0 on both, as nice as A1 and even A3 Praetus is, you made it to endgame with just your A0 Praetus. Do you need the A1 that badly? It'd be amazing for Guild Wars and stuff like that. But if you're already endgame, you already have 120k in Apocalypse 2. You don't need that A1 that desperately. What you do need is copies of Ingrid. Her A1's good. Her A3 changes everything. A3 Ingrid is probably the single best hero in the game. So if you're properly endgame, you have a base copy of both at Awaken level 0, it's time for you to skip this Praetus banner and go for Ingrid. Scenario number 5. You have both. Yes, you have Praetus, and he is his base copy. You have no awakenings. He is Awaken level 0, zilch. And yes, you have Ingrid, and she is either Awaken level 1 or Awaken level 2. In that scenario, don't summon for Praetus, wait for Ingrid. Now, why do I say that? As nice as an A1 Praetus is, if you have A1 or A2 Ingrid, you are knocking on the door of having the best hero in the game, also known as A3 Ingrid. And I think at that point, when you're that close, you'll get the A1 Praetus eventually from a Soul Stone or a lucky drop off banners, something like that. It's time to focus up for Ingrid. And again, all these scenarios 4 through 7, are assuming you're some kind of big spender or very PvP-focused player. However, you got that A0 Praetus, and you have either A1 or A2 Ingrid. It's time to do your thing and try to get another Ingrid. Don't summon for Praetus, wait for Ingrid. Scenario number 6, you have both. Yes, you have an A0 Praetus, but now you have an A3 to A5 Ingrid. So you've already hit that beautiful A3. Maybe you're even lucky enough to have her A4 or the max A5. In that scenario, of course, summon for Praetus. A3 is plenty. Her A5 is phenomenal, but A3 is what you need. If you've already hit that milestone, the next most important thing is going to be getting that A1 Praetus. Number 7, our final scenario. This is a very unique one. You have both, and yes, you have an A1 or higher Praetus. You don't just have the base copy. Your Praetus is either Awaken level 1, 2, 3, 4, or max Awakening 5. And then you have Ingrid. And in any scenario you have this, an A1 Praetus or higher, and your Ingrid isn't maxed out, the Ingrid Awakenings are going to be more valuable. Ingrid A3 is more valuable than Praetus A2 through 5. Ingrid A5, in my opinion, is more valuable than Praetus A2 through A5. It is debatable, I'd say, the difference between like A4, A5 Ingrid and like A2, A3 Praetus. I think it's close. However, if you already have the A3 Ingrid and the A1 Praetus, so those clearly, if you're not catching my drift, are the milestones you want to hit to have a golden account. The best accounts will have an A1 Praetus and an A3 Ingrid. Everything else is gravy. So if you're in that gravy situation over here, certainly if you're A0 to A2, you're going for Ingrid. But then if you have A3 or A4 Ingrid and you want to go for A4 or A5, I do think that's going to be more valuable than A2 plus for Praetus. Like I said, though, I do think it's kind of up for debate at that point. But in my heart of hearts, this is what I think you should do. Do not summon for Praetus. Wait for Ingrid. Thank you guys so much for watching my presentation. The end. Now, guys, extremely long story short. If you want the long version, I have a big Praetus guide, and I did a whole video yesterday breaking down piece of content by piece of content, Praetus versus Ingrid. Basically, I think Praetus is the best DPS in the game. I think he's one of the 2 best heroes in the game. It's really hard to compare him to Elwyn because he's a DPS and a Lord. Elwyn is the best support in the game by a mile. It's one of those 2. He is phenomenal. I will die on that hill. This guy is so broken. Beautiful hero. All right, if you want more specifics, you can find them in many other places throughout my endless content library, which I think we're approaching 1,000 videos. Pretty crazy. Then we got Uredin. Uredin, and I was guilty along with many, but I will bear this cross. I was guilty when his kit first showed up on test server. He wasn't playable, but we could read all the skills. I was convinced he would be an absolute top tier unit in this game. Minimum S+, potentially triple S, and who knows, maybe the best hero in the game. Wrong. I was wrong. We were wrong. No, he is not. I do think because our expectations were so high, many people now think he's not good. To me, that's absolute comedy. He's absolutely good. He's just limited where he can be good because this takes forever to load up. The cost of this is 800, which doesn't sound like that much, but he does not build rage well, though his exclusive gear does help. He does not build rage well, and you want to get this off with Potent Surge to really make him such a punishing beast. That means you got to wait for 1,600 rage. You got to charge that thing up twice. So because of that, he's fairly limited as a hero. He's a little clunky. His range isn't bad at all. He's got the 2 in front, and then it turns into this nice square all around him with the ultimate. But it's also not to the level of like a Zealatu or an Arrogance or something really exciting. Those ranges we really like, or even the nice long range, like a Valkyra, or of course we have coming Eris. It's not even to that level. But he's solid. He's a very good hero. You could not call him a great hero, but he's a very good hero. There's one thing he's better than great at. Here we are on the Fastidious test server, and that is battle power. And battle power, once you get deep into the game, is so important because that is how you strengthen your demon soldiers. I farm my demon soldiers a lot. Some of you will think I farm it like crazy. Others of you that are really good at GVG and really into it will think I do a terrible job. But you'll see, I've got a lot of nice level 5 demon soldiers. Let's actually sort by level here, right? So the blue ones are pretty darn high. Got some level 6s, a bunch of level 5s. We've got my dreaded Necromancer, wherever he is, level 4. Will he ever reach level 5? It doesn't seem to matter how often I farm Gear Raid 1. This guy does not drop, but who knows? Maybe one day. My point is, you can farm these up, and eventually you'll get like me, and then some of you, or maybe already a bunch of you, will pass me, and we'll have way higher levels. But it doesn't matter how powerful these guys are. You could have a level 7 Garnet Guard. It will not matter if you don't have something nice to affiliate him with. So what is affiliation? You take one of your actual heroes and lend their battle power to power them up, rev them up, affiliate their abilities and their strength to whatever demon soldier you would like to select and lend that power to. So it is incredibly important that you have a nice collection of heroes on your account that have really darn high levels of BP. I actually was just playing around with some Guild Wars testing so you can see the highest BPs on my account. I've got a powerful bonded A5 Twyla with some of my absolute best gear. She's at about 109,000. And I've got my A5 Valkyra. I'm not bragging, guys. I'm trying to prove a point. I promise. I've got my A5 Valkyra at about 106.5. Again, quite nice gear. Then we've got my Setram at nearly 102. We've got my Silas at nearly 100. And then we have my best Lord, my Twin Fiend at 95K. Lords are really good, though. You have those numbers. They range between 95K and 109. That's what I can pull off. I don't have Uredin, baby. This guy is a freak. We saw a bunch of A5 heroes there. It was an A4 Setram. It was an A3 Silas. This is an A0 Uredin. Granted, he is wearing, some of the best gear on my test server, but 113.5, he is the best BP mule of all time. This guy is a freak, and I want to explain to you how to build him as nasty as possible. First things first, if you did not know, look at this weapon he's wearing. Mamma Mia, Très Magnifique, 29.5% attack bonus, repulsive. Nearly 35% gold level roll on the crit damage. These are the two most important stats we'll see for battle power. Nice crit rate and a little bit of attack speed, but an incredible piece, right? What am I trying to show you? As good as that piece is, believe it or not, a far worse piece like this one over here will give more battle power. Exclusive gear gives so much BP. So this piece is so much worse than this piece. However, because it's Uredin's specific exclusive piece, I can toss that on. And now he's over 114,000 at Awaken level 0. This is how you want to build it. Ideally, eventually, you want to get his exclusive piece. Then you're going to build a Wicked Vengeance set. You're looking for things like attack bonus, crit damage, attack speed, HP. After that, you can look at things like defense bonus, crit rate, so on and so on. You can see pretty solid. And then for the right side, you'll want Ageless Wrath and you're going to want attack bonus main stat or crit damage main stat. You'll see I have a crit damage one over here, and then whatever main stat you have, the other main stat you didn't select. So if you have crit damage, you want the other main stat attack bonus to be a very high sub. And then if you have attack bonus as the main stat, you want crit damage, the other main stat, as a very high sub. You can see I did my best. I didn't want to re-roll this stuff too crazily, but undeniably, this is a very nice build. 114k BP on Uredin. Go do the same thing with Uredin, if you will. However, with Awakenings, we can crank this guy to the moon. So I figure in real time, let's see how much each Awakening can just yank up Uredin's battle power. Let's add it. Will we get a pop-up? I think we should. No, we don't. Okay, let's go check. We're at 114,007. Now he's at 115,741, almost 116,000. Let's keep this thing going. I'll speed it up a little bit. What you got from me here? A2. So we were at 116.7, right? Now we're at 115.7. Now we're at 116.9. We're coming quick for 120K, which is truly shocking. There's the A3. And keep in mind, A5 is always the biggest boost. So let's see now. We're at 120.2. Enormous jump from A2 to A3. We've broken the 120K milestone marker. Let's go to the A4 here. Let us see. I'm not even looking at these awakening effects. That's not the point. The point is, look at the battle power rise, about 121.6 thousand. And then finally, I would like to see him go above 124K. That's what I'm looking for here. I want something astronomical. Let's see it. 125,280. If you care about Guild Wars, you're going to want at the very least a base copy of Uredin. And then, if you're a proper whale or the luckiest GVGer of all time, snag yourself that A5. 125.28 thousand. 125,280 battle power. You smack this guy on one of my demon soldiers over here, and all of a sudden, I'm pretty good at Guild Wars, huh? If you threw that on my level 5 Axolotl here, Mamma Mia Pizzeria, one of the spiciest meatballs in town. Okay, like I said, Mamma Mia Pizzeria, Mom's Spaghetti, back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, let's ground ourselves back in reality, huh? Let's look over here. Is Uredin the best hero in the game? Not at all. But is he a pretty valuable thing to pick up on an incredible best potential banner because Praetus is on it? Absolutely. This is certainly not like we're getting some lame-o kind of mid thing. It's certainly not a Giselle or even a Dirtsa, something like that. But it's also not even like a Kata. I do like Kata, but this is another level because he's going to bring instantaneous value to anyone's account. As long as you get a nice handful of skill ups into him, he's going to be well over 100k BP. It doesn't take much. Uredin's awesome. Not some game-breaking hero yet. Maybe content will arise. I still believe that will happen one day. But this is a really nice little pick-me-up consolation prize as you march your way towards Praetus. And as I made very clear, Praetus is the best hero in the game. If you have any more questions, do let me know in the comments when it comes to wondering if you should summon. I think I was really thorough because, quite frankly, unless you already have Praetus and Ingrid, you need to be summoning either on this banner or the Ingrid banner, which is likely in 2 or 3 weeks. So I think this video empowers you with the knowledge to know which is the banner for you. Is Uredin Ardia? No, but Ardia is just an incredible extra consolation prize to pick up in that Ingrid banner. You should not be choosing it because you're like, I don't care if it's Ingrid or Praetus. I want Ardia too. I hear you. It is valid, but in my opinion, these two, Praetus and Ingrid, I mean, they own such huge portions of the game. You need to make sure you make the right decision. So I really hope you took my presentation to heart. Thank you so much for watching. If you appreciate this strange content that I spent far too long on this evening, please do subscribe to the channel. Hit all notifications. That is the best way to help the channel, and it's the best way for you to know the second I post any new content. Like it, comment, share with your mother. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.